right, Kia Nurse and Leo Routens as the Raptors get a massive bounce-back victory over the Washington Wizards. And let's start with the end of the game because the Wizards really did push the Raptors, Kia, but then the Raps flipping the script in OT and just getting some monster shots courtesy of Fred VanVleet. We'll speak about him in a moment, but overall, just a really, really gutsy effort at the end.
Well, you're absolutely right. In this Toronto Raptors team, they had a lead. They ended up blowing it. Some defensive coverages that were to blow it, but it flipped. In overtime, it was all about the defense. They sat in a stance, kept the ball in front of them. Towards the end of the game here, they get a defensive coverage blown, like I said, but OG Anunoby doing a really good job just sitting down, and they kind of told on themselves a little bit in this game that if there is a sense of urgency defensively, they can do it. Look at Fred VanVleet get up here in Bradley Beal, knowing that Beal wants to do everything. A good job by the Raptors, and gutsy, like Kate said.
And, you know, Fred had a lot of help, too, but think about it. Fred struggled in games defending. He did a great job in this game, and then knocking down the three. How about 6 threes? Fred's been struggling from deep. You know, he's had some absences, but able to come back and have a huge game right here. And Pascal Siakam with the finish right there. Raptors need Fred. They need Siakam to close games, to be the focal point offensively and get it done. But when they combine a defense like that, like you said, this is what this team is all about.
And that's the difference in this one. It's Fred. Let's be honest here. He had a brutal shooting performance Thursday. He had 3 balls total in the past 2 games, ends up with 6 in this one and 2 in overtime. And this is the thing. He's going to keep shooting, which is good. You're going to have those lulls that you did on Thursday, but then he has a night like tonight and everything changes.
Well, Fred VanVleet has the confidence to continue to keep shooting and playing his game. And let's be honest, Pascal Siakam was a little bit non-existent in this game until that overtime. So you expect Fred VanVleet to step up and play really big. Obviously, knocking down the 3 ball and spreading the floor for this team is important. But I think when he is not in the game or when he's injured and not playing, what you miss most is when there is a run by the other team, you need someone to stop the bleeding. Fred VanVleet can make a play for you consistently, whether that's him scoring or being a playmaker.
And you got to put in perspective. I mean, you had the All-Star break and then the 3-game absence, right? That's a long time in mid-season. So you're going to be a little goofy, a little rusty when you come back and play. But this is what you need from Fred because he is so important to this team. He's a true point guard. He makes sure he takes the right shots. He makes sure the right people get the ball. And, again, the big thing is, again, we mentioned he struggled defensively, right? And there's been a lot of struggles this season for him. But when he can play like this, it changes everything for the Raptors.
Speaking of another bounce-back performance, that was Gary Trent Jr. coming off a season-low 4 points on Thursday. He puts up 26 and just in a rhythm all game. But, again, having someone like that come off the bench, critical.
Well, that's the beauty of the NBA and a packed schedule is that there's always the opportunity to bounce back pretty quickly. And for Gary Trent Jr., this was the perfect execution of know your role. What is this role for this team? Score the ball because that's what he does really well. And like Kate said, coming off of the bench, he's a guy who can be in a starting lineup on a team in the NBA, but has the ability to knock it down. He did a really good job scoring at all 3 levels. I thought they did a great job of using the top of the paint and running him off of a ton of screens there to get him some open looks early.
Well, the dynamics of the bench changes dramatically. Hey, you've got a guy that's got to be instant offense. And you remember the role of the bench player, maintain or raise the level of play. And Gary Trent has the ability because you can get him from 3, he can create his own shots, he can go off the dribble, pull up, you name it, he can score. So having a player like that lead this bench group is instrumental in building confidence for everybody else that steps on the floor.
A critical win, to say the least. Obviously, they're fighting for position over in the East, but 5 of their next 7 games against teams that are 500 or better, and it all starts Monday against the Denver Nuggets.